Hi guys, so last week we used the 5 different types of lines to make a picture. Today we're going to talk about how we take those lines and when we connect the beginning and the end of the lines we make a shape. Remember, all lines have to have a beginning and an end. And once we don't have that beginning and end, it's a shape. Like now, Larry went from a horizontal line into a circle. So over here are some examples of shapes. Some shapes have names, like geometric shapes: circle, square, triangle, and a rectangle. Some shapes don't have names, like these shapes I put down here. These are called organic shapes. They're shapes I just made up. I start with a point, make some lines, and as long as those two beginning and ends get connected and we close it in, it's a shape. So now I'm gonna have you watch me make a little picture using some geometric and organic shapes, and then you guys can work in your sketchbooks and make your own. Let's get started.
So last week we worked to use those lines to make a picture, just using lines. Remember, they had to have a beginning and an end. And today we talked about shapes and how we use lines to make shapes. So I'm going to turn to the next page in my sketchbook, my journal, and I am going to make a picture using lines. And I'm going to take these lines and I'm going to turn them into some shapes. Now, some shapes might be geometric and some might be organic. And like last week, you guys can use whatever materials you would like: colored pencils, markers, crayons, a pencil, paint. If you even have paint at home and you want to use it, you guys can use whatever you want. I'm going to start with a blue crayon here, and I'm going to start by using some lines to make a shape. So I might start with a vertical line, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. And that's not a line anymore. It's a shape because it's closed in there. There's no way out if I'm inside of that shape. So I used 4 lines to make that shape. Now I might put some lines on top, and I'm going to make a triangle. Now this could start to become lots of different things, starting to look a little bit like a house to me. I might want to go and add a line down here, a horizontal line that my house is sitting on. And maybe I want to start to make some organic shapes. Maybe in the sky I'm going to make some clouds. And they are organic shapes because we don't have names for these. I'm using curvy lines, but see, I have my beginning point and now I am with my ending point, and it's closed in. So that's a shape now. If you want to put some lines in your picture, you could put some lines in your picture too. Maybe I'm going to start with a curvy line and make a sun. Maybe then I'll take some lines around here, and I'm just going to use some regular lines to make a sun, right? But what I'm doing is I am just making lines and I'm turning them into shapes, and then I'm making them into a picture. Now my picture looks like something. It looks like a house and clouds and a sun, and here's a little flower. But if you would like, your picture can be just fun shapes and designs. Maybe I'm going to do some of those down here. I'm making some zigzag lines, and I just made an organic shape down at the bottom. Maybe I'm going to turn that into some sort of a creature that's climbing along the road over there in front of my house. Maybe that is my pet creature. I'm going to give him a little hair over there. And maybe I'll give him a little curvy line tail. And maybe I'll make a little friend for him over here out of some strange shape. And that's kind of like a, I don't know what that is. And give him a little antennas. Give him some eyes over there. And those are my little organic animals down at the bottom there that I just made out of silly shapes and lines. So you guys have some fun. Use whatever materials you have. Have some fun using your lines and connecting them into shapes, making some geometric shapes that we know the names for, like triangles and squares and circles, and make some organic shapes that we don't have names for, like my little animals down there or my clouds. Whatever you do, I want you guys to have fun, and I want you to remember that you can make a beautiful oops. If you think you're making something and it turns into something else, there's your beautiful oops. Remember, we talked about that a lot in class last year. Have a lot of fun, guys, and send me a picture if you can.